Hello. All right, today we're going to do a quick video on how to go from maintenance back into a deficit. This was a great question asked in a Half Size Me Community Live webinar, and I went through a lot of my videos. I got a ton of videos on how to go from a deficit to maintenance, but not a whole lot going the other way. So I thought, you know what, this would be a great opportunity to make a quick video on this. So before you go into a maintenance break, go watch all my videos on how to have a successful maintenance break, how to do things from a very well thought out perspective, okay? That's gonna help you transition back into a deficit easier. So a couple of the high level things I talk about doing. One, adding a little bit of calories to each meal, keeping meals the same, keeping meal frequency the same. So if you're a 3-meal, 2-snack kind of person, we don't want to see extra snack times coming in, extra treat times coming in, because it makes this part of the process more difficult for you, okay? So again, go back, watch all those videos, make sure you understand how to take a good, solid maintenance break so that way you can come out of it ready to tackle the deficit. Now, this is what's interesting. I have helped many clients, hundreds of clients at this point, go from maintenance back to a deficit, and there's some issues that consistently come up. One, if they took a proper maintenance break and they did the things we talk about, what I notice is it takes a little longer to get back to their normal deficit than they anticipate. So for example, if they say they want to be on maintenance for 2 weeks, and let's just say they're eating 2,200 calories, the next day after that 2 weeks, to assume you're going to hit the 1,700 or whatever it was you were doing before, probably not going to happen. I call it a trickle down approach. I find more people are successful if they go from 2,200 to 2,000, then maybe the next week they drop it to the 1,800, and then if they need to get back to 1,600 or 1,700. So plan on taking about 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, depending on where your maintenance calories are, what a deficit is for you, and stepping down. Because I don't know why it's difficult, but for a lot of times for people, they have a hard time letting go of some of that extra food right away. And for some people, they notice extreme hunger going back into a deficit. So I find that this approach helps with both things. It's a psychological thing, and it's also a physical hunger thing. Some people do well. It's not been the majority though. So this is why I would encourage you to plan on taking at least a week or so to step down. Now you could start the week out at 2,000, and you might start to feel better at that. So then you take out another couple hundred calories. Maybe by the end of the week, you know, you're pretty close to where you want to be, but don't assume it should be overnight. I guess that's the best thing. And the second thing that I would encourage you to do, especially if you've been on a longer maintenance break, go back and look at your food logs, look at the meals you were eating when you were in a deficit, because our brains don't remember very far back when it comes to food. And this would be really helpful for you to say, okay, I was eating at 1,650, I've been eating at 2,100. What was I doing differently to hit the 1,650 that I'm not doing now? Go back, look at the meals you were making. Sometimes it's easier just to follow it like a script. You know, oh, these are the meals I like, kind of looking what I need to cut out, so that way I can get back into my normal groove. Those are typically the things I see helping people the most when they go from a well-planned, well-intentioned maintenance break back into a calorie deficit. More time to ease into the calorie deficit, really reflecting on the meals and what you were eating when you were in your deficit before as like a road, a well-paved road to follow. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and exercise. You might want to back off exercise a little bit. So one of the things I use is a toggle switch in coaching. If somebody's in a maintenance break, I say do more exercise if you want to. Like if you want to do more intense exercise because you love it and you've been laying off because you're in a deficit, it makes you overly hungry. If you're in maintenance, you probably don't feel as overly hungry. So go ahead and work out a little bit more. If I have a client who chose to do that, then when she's switching back into a deficit, I tell her, hey, you know what? Let's back off the extreme exercise for this next couple weeks while you work your way back into your deficit range. So if they were doing HIIT or Peloton workouts or whatever, maybe we just go to walking for a few weeks. And then once they get reacclimated, maybe looking at what level of extreme exercise they can handle while being in a calorie deficit. So anyway, these are all some ideas to consider when you're going from maintenance back into a deficit, and that way you can have a smoother transition. All right, guys, I hope that helps. I will talk to you soon, and please like and subscribe and share the videos to help others.